Well, gosh, they've built their 10 cars right here. They do their own fiberglass layup and in fact have developed their technology to some extent. They typically use a motorcycle motor and have tremendously fruitful relationships with various local companies. To me, this is what it's all about. Students working in a realistic workshop and studio environment, pretty much in charge of their own destiny, financing and so forth, but with staff watching, assisting from the sidelines. The learning outcomes from this type of environment are so far beyond anything that's seen in any other mode of learning. Thank you again, guys. That's right. You can.
Did you want to see the other cars in thermo as well?
It's 8:30 in the morning on Friday the 25th of March 2011. I'm standing in the middle of the James Oval at the University of Western Australia, looking towards the Civil and Mechanical Engineering building. There are the engineering lecture theatres, the cricket pavilion, one of the original university buildings, and then swinging around towards the west and then the north we have mathematics. There is the Integrated Learning Center, Mondadelphous Integrated Learning Center building. The concept for this building was developed by Professor Mark Bush, Ruja Ostroganak, Judith Stallard and I in 2007. It was to be a design studio and homeroom for students in the second, third and final year. It's about 1,200 square meters. It's now 2010 and the renovation is complete. I'll take you inside. The entry area on the ground floor. There are two workshops. This one to the south was intended to be a light prototyping workshop for essentially unsupervised or lightly supervised student use. To the north, it was intended as a heavier prototyping workshop with lathes and drill presses and a milling machine and CNC capability and so forth. However, those tools have not been bought at this point. Between those two workshops, not visible from here, well, behind the stairwell, is a glass thing we call the fish tank, where a technician can sit and have a clear view of both the south and north ground floor workshops. There are a few group rooms, or possibly rooms for projects requiring a lockable door, and a little bay for printers, fax machines, some lockers. Storage was a big issue during the design of the centre because we recognised that as a shared space we needed to make sure there was a good hot disk policy in place. There's the first floor. Actual students. And here are the design studios. It's a little bit early, there are no classes running just yet. They're quite large, airy spaces with light streaming in from the east and south. Plenty of desks and movable chairs. A couple of group rooms here in the middle with clear glass view to the south and the north. Another studio. And then in the same building are the seed office. This is an industry program in which final year students receive industry funding very much as you have in the senior design course. Offices of the Young Engineers Club, which is the student chapter of Engineers Australia.